Hello, people, and welcome to Quote Tasting. So this is a broadcast where I'm delivering the greatest quotes I have come across throughout now more than a decade of personal development. And the goal is to shatter the assumptions we have built our life upon. The goal further is to feed our faith and claim a destiny so far beyond our imagination that I get goosebumps just by thinking about it. The message is you have potential. And the life you have chosen to live right now is just one of the one of the possibilities you could have chosen. So the reality you're living right now is just one of the possible realities. And the question is whether this reality you're living right now is satisfactory to you. Are you content with the life you're living right now? Or would you be interested to know how you can access a better reality, which is just as existent as what you're perceiving through the five physical senses? So the life you're living right now, it's just what I'm claiming and what is certainly true for my life. The life you're living right now does not equal your potential. You have the opportunity to 10x your health. You also have the opportunity to 10x the quality of your relationships. And obviously, you also have the chance to 10x your finances. You know, what it takes as the beginning is a grain of faith. Now, the Bible says faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Let me ask you, how convicted are you of the fact that there is a reality your senses deny? You need to know that we are simultaneously living on several domains. This physical matter experience that we're having, that we're calling life, is just one of the domains, one of the realities. There is a different reality, which is not physical in its nature, but it's still as existent as the physical materiality which we are perceiving through the five physical senses. And let me ask you again this question. How convicted are you of the reality your senses deny? That's a tremendous question. How convicted are you of the fact that there is a better reality at your disposal, even though your current life experience denies the fact? This is why we need to live by faith and not by sight. Because faith has access to this domain which is still existent, but can't perceive through our eyes, our physical eyes. Personal growth, in essence, is doing the work of challenging the facts of our life, which we perceive through our five physical senses, challenge them with what we're perceiving only through faith. It is to challenge the facts of our life and call them actually a lie. You know, if you're broke or if you're unhealthy, you know, you may wonder, well, how this seems so real to me. How can I actually say that this is a lie? Well, you need to detach from this reality and realize that in the state of possibility, there are multiple realities possible for you. That's the first step, to just become aware that you have access to a different life. No matter where you are in life, no matter what the facts of your life are. You know, I think Jim Rohn would say, you know, if you're still breathing, you can still have hope to change, actually. You know, so through faith, we have access to the things that we can only perceive through our heart. And this is what it's all about. And I'm excited to share that with you here on Quote Tasting. So what is today's quote? Today's quote is by Dr. Benjamin Hardy. See, I've been listening to this guy on YouTube. His name is Myron Golden, and he's a great mentor to me when it comes to business. And Myron Golden, he is really a machine. And if you just watch his channel on YouTube, it's amazing how much content he is uploading on a consistent basis. But he also has a great network, access to a great network. And through him, I was exposed to other great minds. I was exposed to a guy, his name is Wayne Malcolm, which is a great spiritual thinker. His brand name is the Business Bishop, which I find funny, but he's great listening to. And one of the other guys is Dr. Benjamin Hardy. So ever since Myron Golden did the interview with Dr. Benjamin Hardy, I felt drawn into the material Dr. Hardy is presenting through his books, but also on YouTube. And first thing, of course, go check out the channels of Myron Golden, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, and also Wayne Malcolm. See, and when I'm exposed to this kind of information, I just want to let you know how I'm processing this information. I always have something to write with me, because we need to value ideas. We need to value the simple things. An idea is actually a thing. We could go deeper into it, which I will not do now, but we need to value ideas. Everything starts with an idea. So you need to become good at taking notes, writing down, and storing information. Anyway, so Dr. Hardy said in the interview with Myron Golden, and this is what I want to dissect today as the quote for the day: when you frame your past better, your present is liberated. When you frame your past better, your present is liberated. Let that one sink in. Let me ask you, why do we put frames around pictures? If you go into your parents' home and you look at the family pictures, you see that all of them have a frame around them. Why do we do that? Why do we choose a frame for our family pictures, which we then put on our wall? Because we want people to look at what's inside the frame. We want people to look at the picture. Frames create focus. Frames create focus. Now, in personal growth, we know that what we focus on expands. Because through our focus, we nourish the object of our focus with energy. And what we focus on expands. It means it grows bigger for us. If you feed a child, it grows. And if you feed the object of your focus, it's going to grow. So with regard to the past, it makes then sense to look at the frame we have put around it. You may not have chosen what's inside the frame, but you have chosen the frame. And this is all what matters. The content of your past, the things that happened to you, they don't matter so much. What matters is the frame you have chosen around it. What matters is how you hold your past. So, what is the past? Your past only has an existence as a memory in the present moment. Your past only exists as a memory stored in your brain and your nervous system, in your body. Your past is not what you experience, actually. You experience the memory of the past in the present moment. And the memory of the past is not just made up by what happened to you, but also by the meaning you give it. And the meaning you give it is the variable, is the one thing we need to look at. Because what happened to you, it happened. We can't do anything about it, no matter how bad it was. The only sane thing to do is actually to accept it. But you have a choice to choose a different meaning, a better meaning for it. So when Hardy says we need to liberate the present by reframing the past, it means that we need to go and buy new frames for the memories we have of our past. Because it is not what happened to you what matters, but the frame, the meaning you have put around it. Something has happened, but you give it the meaning. Now, if you wear negative frames around your past, your present is not free, because you live ultimately in resistance to what you cannot change. So accept the content of your past, but stick to the facts. That's another weird thing that people do unconsciously, but it's our nature in a way. But it's very important if you want to liberate your presence. Just now it's time to listen up. If you are creating a story out of the facts of your past, you're already giving an interpretation, your unique interpretation of the past, and call it the truth. You give it a meaning. You give it your own personal spin on it. So how can you choose a positive frame for something negative that may have happened? The first thing is to recognize that the way you have memorized the situation does not serve you. You need to become aware that how you're holding the past is actually captivating your present. You're not free. And the second thing is to detach from the story, from what happened. This is what I wanted to say. So the one thing is the fact of what has happened. The other thing is the story you tell yourself about what has happened. Stick to the fact. It's one thing to say, I broke a glass. It's another thing to say that I am a fool for breaking a glass. It's one thing to say that, I don't know, my father hit me when he was drunk. It's another thing to say that I am fragile and unworthy because my father treated me that way. So one thing is the fact, and the other thing is your unique interpretation. What happened is the one thing, the meaning you give it is the other. So once you learn this lesson, you reframe your past and become aware that the facts of your past are merely contributing factors. They are not determining factors. And this is the gospel to me, really. What determines your life is not what happened to you in the past, but the meaning you give it. And this is where you transform your past. And through really to a different meaning, to a different frame, through a different frame, you're liberating the presence and you're transforming your life. All right, so this was my take on when you frame your past better, your present is liberated. I hope you enjoyed it. just as much as I did, please, do what you have to do on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and let's make this life an inspiring growth adventure, an adventure your, I don't know, your 80-year-old self will thank you for and congratulate for. It's great you made the decision to invest in your own growth journey just by listening through this podcast, through this broadcast. Be a good student and keep it up. See you next time.